The center of this terror was Carolyn Perron. Bathsheba Sherman's deep hatred fixated entirely on Carolyn.
The center of this terror was Carolyn Perron. Bathsheba Sherman's deep hatred fixated entirely on Carolyn, targeting her as the house's mistress. Initially, it began with strange odors and sudden drops in temperature. But soon, unseen hands began to make contact. Her most horrifying experience was feeling something violently pulling her hair while she was in bed. When alone, she was physically dragged across the floor. She discovered bruises and marks on her legs that no human could have inflicted. In the bathroom, she felt a piercing pain, like pins being thrust into her back. Carolyn knew this was not simple fear. It was a real physical assault intended for possession.
Roger Perron was initially troubled, but skeptical. He believed in logic and the tangible world. But as he heard the noises and witnessed his wife's escalating terror, his doubt turned to dread. Roger's biggest source of fear was the house's basement. It was a cold, oppressive space where he frequently heard loud crashing sounds coming from below. Roger even testified that while he slept, he felt something approach him and take long, cold breaths near his face. As a husband and father, his most difficult decision was the financial impossibility of moving out, forcing them to remain captive to the fear. Andrea Perron documented this horror with chilling detail. She was one of the first to see the main entity, Bathsheba Sherman. She saw her not as a shadow, but as a woman in a black dress, whose face was etched with pure malice and hatred. Andrea also shared encounters with a tall, unsettling spirit, an eccentrically dressed man who would enter her room. He would gently touch her forehead and vanish exactly at 3:15 a.m. Andrea's testimony is the most extensive, detailing the activities of multiple, distinct spirits within the home. The youngest daughter, Cindy Perron, acquired a truly unsettling friend. Cindy often spoke to thin air, and her friend was a small girl named Prudence. Prudence's voice was unnatural. It was soft, yet profoundly cold. On one occasion, when Carolyn entered Cindy's room, she clearly heard a small voice say, "My name is Prudence. I can show you what's inside." This was psychological manipulation, turning a child's innocence into an instrument of fear. Cindy's experiences showcased the entity's subtle, mind-bending tactics. Christine Perron's most iconic and terrifying encounter happened in her bed. One night, she was sleeping alone when her bedroom door violently slammed shut. Immediately afterward, her bed began to shake violently, and her sheets were ripped off the bed and thrown to the floor. When she opened her eyes, she saw a tall, looming shadow in the corner of her room. Following this incident, Christine refused to sleep alone in that room again. This was a textbook, yet incredibly violent, example of poltergeist activity. When Ed and Lorraine Warren arrived, they decided to conduct a séance. The session had a disastrous effect on Nancy Perron. During the séance, Nancy began to suffer violent convulsions, and her voice completely changed. It became a deep, guttural voice, speaking in what sounded like Latin or an ancient language. Roger Perron immediately ordered the Warrens to stop. He felt that the Warrens were empowering Bathsheba rather than removing her. Nancy's episode confirmed the imminent threat of full possession in the house.